Hi, this is Melissa, and I'm shooting this training video because I wanted to share some really great tips on fine-tuning nutrient analysis in NutriKids. So I'm starting with a recipe, and I'm just going to share my little tips and tricks. So we have the sandwich Italian sub. All this looks great. The 6 slices of Genio turkey, ham, bologna, and salami qualify for 2 meat alternate, plus the American cheese is an extra half meat alternate. And so when I go to this area on NutriKids, we want to put in 2.5 meat alternate. And you're meeting the minimum too, so it's okay. Like there's no issues with that, but the auditors do check for calculating the meat alternate correctly. Recipe 701, chicken shark bites and a breadstick. So when I get to this recipe, one thing I noticed, that looks great. We got 53 servings, 2 meat alternate and 2 grain. And then I go into the subgroups and we have a whole grain rich subgroup here. This does print out on the contribution report, so it is important to include. Recipe 700, chicken Caesar salad and a roll. The chicken Caesar salad and a roll. Sorry, I had to pause the video right there. We're going to take a look at something, the chicken popcorn Tyson. Tyson always makes their product specification sheet so it looks like it's 12 pieces, so that are a serving size. They say 3.85 ounce portion. And then when it comes to the nutrition facts, they put 12 pieces. But really, we need to be serving 15 pieces. We get over to the product formulation statement. It says 15 pieces, or 3.75 ounces, is equal to 2 ounces of meat. So it's a tricky thing. It's something that I recognize anytime I see Tyson popcorn chicken. I am like, okay, it's a 12, 15 piece thing. So in order to get 2 meat alternate, we need to change this to a serving of 15 pieces. And so I'm going to make that correction here. If we kept it at 12 and counted the Parmesan cheese, 12 pieces actually equals only 1.6 meat alternate. So 1.6 plus 1.25 is 1.85 ounces of meat. So we're still not even qualifying yet for the 2 meat alternate. And then we have this dinner roll, and when I click on it, I see the roll is 2 whole grains. So that is going to total 3 whole grains and now 2 meat alternate. And let's take a look over here. 3 whole grains and 2 meat alternate. We're going to fix our subgroups. 3 whole grains, 2 meat alternate. All right. So now with the meatball sub, we're 2 whole grains. So we're adding the 2 whole grains. So the chicken spicy chunks and fries, spicy chicken chunks and fries with a breadstick. This 5 pieces is 2 meat alternate and 1 grain, plus the half breadsticks is 2 grain. Then we've got our half cup of potatoes and ranch dressing. I happen to notice that this recipe is 664 calories and 46 grams of fat. That's pretty high in fat, so I took a look at the ranch dressing. It looks like a generic ranch. It may be better for you to use the actual ranch that you plan on using, like input the Ken's ranch or whatever brand that you're actually using. And then also, it's worth mentioning that 2 ounces of ranch is a 1/4 cup. That's a lot of ranch. So the normal large packet of ranch dressing that we get in restaurants, like fast food restaurants and other places, is only even 1.5 ounces. So my recommendation is to decrease this to 1.5 ounces. And also, if you're using a 2-ounce portion cup, unless you're filling it up to the top, it's probably not 2 ounces that is in that cup. It's probably less than that. So my recommendation on this one is to decrease this to 1.5 ounces and input the actual ranch dressing that you're using. For the Raisin Bran cereal and graham crackers, that's going to be 2 grains, and so I'm inputting those amounts here. Again, this will print out on the contribution report and on your recipes, so it's worth putting in. Oops, wrong one, 696. The breakfast clusters. So these breakfast clusters are brand new ingredient 902798. Oops. And I just wanted to quickly review the format for the rest, or the ingredients. We put the description first, so I'm going to paste that into place here. And then the manufacturer name, and then we'll add the product code. And that way in the title, we always know exactly which breakfast clusters we're going to be using. And one more other thing is that the ounce weight, if you're using ounces in this column, you want to put ounces in this column. So even if it's like a whole gallon here and the serving size is only a cup or something like that, we want to basically, that's okay. We just want to basically stick with ounces or grams, because what NutriKids is going to do is calculate every time you say a serving, it's going to calculate the difference between ounces and grams, which is not an even number. So because this is a package, and I know that that package really is 2.75 ounces, which is that many grams, or close to at least, this is what we want to put into the base weight. Or you can stick with grams, just say that this serving is that many grams weight. All right, there we go. So the sandwich sub bar. I took a look at this and noticed that the calories are 805, and it's adding up both sandwiches with 1 bag of chips. So I believe that this sub bar is offering one of these 2 sandwiches, and then each sandwich would be served with a bag of chips. So for 2 sandwiches, we need 2 bags of chips, and we want to adjust the recipe so it makes 2 portions and averages out the calories and nutritional information for the 2. So now we're at 442. The bag of chips is 80 calories. That looks good. This is much more along the lines of what I would expect. So I don't need to, it just gives me that automatic message. I could take a look at this. I did also just right now notice that we have 2 slices of cheese with 3 ounces of commodity ham or commodity turkey. So I'm not quite sure that the actual meat alternate is what it's stating. Like that one's 2.5. We went through that earlier. 2.5 meat. This one's probably more meat than we're putting in here, but so you know, you might want to do the research and update that. Breakfast scramble looks so good. So this recipe makes 32 servings, and so there's 32 patties, hash browns, 32 pork patties, and then 32 slices of bread. And the slice of bread is 1 grain. So I got to this area and noticed that there's no grains That's really important to count the grains during breakfast because we can't serve meat without grain. We have to have a grain in the entree at breakfast. And that's whole grain. So actually this is going to be 1 whole grain rich serving. Another thing that I wanted to clarify is that at breakfast, potatoes don't count for vegetable. Unless you're serving carrots or some sort of other vegetable. The state or USDA didn't want starchy vegetables, i.e. potatoes, to be served at breakfast unless schools are serving like a minimum of 2 cups of other types of vegetables during the week that aren't starchy. So, I mean, it's fine if you have like carrots, a half cup bag of carrots on your breakfast line every day, but most schools don't do that. And besides, you have to have a half cup of vegetable even just to qualify for your minimum half cup serving for offer versus serve. So this really doesn't even do much good. It doesn't like get you past the half cup. So I would take it out, but I don't know if you don't have vegetables on the menu, other vegetables at breakfast. So I'm going to leave it there and it's up to you to take out. So the last recipe that I'm going to go through is the taco nacho bar. We have 2 turkey tacos or the entree of nachos Doritos, and then a bunch of onions and some Mexican rice and some beans that are all offered. And so we're saying this actually makes 2 servings because we've got 2 entrees here. And then we really should double all of this. So it would be 2 tablespoons of onions for the 2 servings. And then 2 half-cup portions of rice and beans. Unless you're thinking that they're going to be taking only a 1/4 cup and you're using a number 16 scoop instead of a number 8 scoop. Now, if you're using that 1/4 cup scoop, then I would move this back down to 2 servings is half a cup total. And then we're going to put an arbitrary 2 meat and 2 grain on this. We're not sure what the kids will take, but we want to count it towards the meal pattern at a minimum of this amount. And 2 whole grains. All right, let's take a look at it again. They might take these, but then kids might not take any. So that's why we just stick to we know they're going to take an entree, which is the 2 meat and 2 grain. All right, that's it.